Hello, everybody. Welcome. Rosie&Corina Psych Investigators.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys. So, there's a lot to talk about today. Corina
Yes.
and I had a very long conversation about these several events, important events. So, because this was somewhat controversial, we talked first, and then I took, I made some summaries. I'm going to read some of the summaries and then get into each of the things that Corina saw. I saw some of it. Corina had a lot of the visions. So, okay. So,
Okay.
so there's that. And just to tell you so Corina and I took a little break and I looked at the news and saw that Christy Nome went to the hospital. I think it is not that serious. It's that she's dealing with the aftermath of what she's done. She's very histrionic. She may be under like malnourished. So,
hmm
right, Curtis is like
Yes.
something. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's not like something that like
Nothing
yeah,
serious.
yeah, okay. So, but as for the protection then, and it will start. So I'd like to ask for protection. A beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I fill my lungs as I breathe out. I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I'd like to ask that information come only from the highest sources that it create the good and it was the good and so it is. Okay, so before I show you the summary, a written summary here, and Corina gets more into uh, her story, the things she's seen. I just want to give you the context, which is very interesting.
hmm
I was telling Corina about the context when she was telling me this. So I posted a video yesterday about this whole situation, and I saw there were several comments mentioning false flag, and someone said even like I can be salty, right, in the comments. And someone said something like, Rosie, this is not, Israel is not going to be attacking. It's not going to be the one attacking or something. Or something like, or I forgot, or Iran was not going to be attacking. It's not the one attacking. Something like that. And they said something I heard. So I was like, well, I was watching military channels and I watched Al Jazeera and I saw, how keeping up with everything. And so then Corina, I posted a video yesterday. Corina did not watch the video. And then she starts telling me, she's like, Rosie, it's so weird. Yes, it was either yesterday, right? She said something like, I was like, she was telling me like, oh, then I heard this word false flag. And I was like, wow. And I listened, I was like, Corina, I don't know. It's so interesting because a lot of people apparently have seen this too. So then we get into the details of it.
Yeah.
So, so, um, So so that's the story, right, Karina?
hmm hmm
And so do you want to just give the introduction? Let me just 1 second because I
You
wrote it.
reading
Okay,
this?
so hold on a second. So okay, just gonna put here. Uh, okay, so Karina had his vision. Karina just wanted and this
You want
is we'll get
okay.
into I'll read just tells the introduction of how you how the vision came about, and then we okay.
Okay. I felt very nervous as of yesterday afternoon. It just started to hit me. And last night I was sitting here winding down for the evening and I just happened to come across something and heard the two words Israel and Iran. As soon as I heard those two words, I got a message that said false flag attack. And I started to panic. I could feel the panic rise up in me. And so I knew something was there because I started to panic. And so that's when it just kept flooding in overnight that, this could be Rosie and I had seen months ago that there'd be some sort of false flag attack if that's the direction they went in. So obviously, last night it came to me that this could be the false flag attack. That, for example, maybe Israel could hit us, blame it on Iran because Israel wants us to go into Iran. And that would be a way of making that happen. Not that we would do that, but that
Mhm.
is what came to me.
Okay. great.
So,
So that was the context. So let's get into, so now I'm going to share with you guys, we had literally 2 hour conversation to get to the details of this. So we made a summary because is there so much happening, right? So I'm just going to pause here and grab the info and we'll be right back. So, as I was saying to you guys, that the context of this, it's all starts with the words of the false flag operation. And when Corina was telling me that, I was reminded of this whole thing that like that I had read. And Barak Ravid is a very respected Israeli journalist. And this is from June 16th, so yesterday. Scoop. US tells allies it won't join war unless Iran targets Americans, which technically hasn't quite happened, right?
right,
So here it is. The Trump administration told several Middle Eastern allies on Sunday that it doesn't plan to actively get involved in the war between Israel and Iran unless Iran targets Americans. 2 sources from countries that received that US message tell Axios. Now what's important to discuss here is that this is not what Trump is saying, but I think it's probably the military or it's the official, right?
right.
Well, essentially the official line from the administration. So now that we have shared this with you, I'm gonna go to the summary. Okay, just again,
Okay.
just go grab it. 1 second. All right, let's see. Is that right? Okay. Okay. So, all right. Okay. So here, I'm just gonna read this first part and then we go. Okay. So is Israel, Iran, and USA, the US involvement is not enough for Bibi. Israel is waging a PR campaign to get Trump to join the war fully and to get the US military to share bunker busting bombs and the airplane to carry them. At first, Trump seems to be okay with it, but just like the tariffs, he is persuaded by people like Putin to turn around. And the US military warns him that Iran could be like Afghanistan, but much worse. It's not winnable. So, in a few days, it comes out that the US will not want to go too deep in and not want to use the bunker busting bombs, which then makes Bibi go with the plan B, which is to create a false flag attack on US soil to then try to blame Iran. However, Gavin Newsom is onto them and the plan is foiled. So I wanted to say also, people tell me this all the time to say, okay, for entertainment
Yes.
purposes only, right? Because
Yep.
this is a vision. This is right, not we don't have
Right.
evidence of this or anything. So therefore, if evidence, right, meaning
Right.
pace, right? It's for entertainment purposes all.
Yep.
So so having said that, that's essentially the story of the conversation that we have today. We had today.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so then I'm go back here to the other text. So guys, so all right, let's see here. All right, so the false flag.
Yeah.
So Corina and I were talking, right? And Corina gets this like the big vision, right? You say you get a big picture. And
Right.
then I started like asking her these questions about, and then started both kind of looking into it, like where is it? Because when she said false flag, then I have to figure out where, what is going on about this false flag? Where is it taking place? And then I remember the first question we asked her, was it in California? I'm sorry, was it in the US? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
then you said, and then okay, so let's see. I'm gonna put here the part about Gavin Newsom. So now I'll give you the mic, Corina, because right. So
Mm-hmm.
uh
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah. I did see it in California,
Mm-hmm.
but as we talked this out and went through each
Mm-hmm.
detail, um, I picked up Gavin Newsom.
Mm-hmm.
His role in catching and exposing this is actually really much bigger than any of us realize. I picked up on him having his own intelligence. So he is actually aware of more information than we realize too. It started after the fires, it started during the fires. He started hearing, seeing all this information, and he's been working diligently since then. Um, with his own intelligence in California. So for me, he has picked up this chatter, he has picked up this information. He's very aware that it could happen. And we both felt that he would stop it and he would come out and say it. He would expose it all. He's not afraid to. He's already started doing that. He's not afraid to stand up to Trump because I feel like in this information that he's received, he knows he has to save California. This is his way. He's standing up for the American people, standing up for his state, and he will do whatever it takes to keep his state safe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's his direction right now.
Mm-hmm. So also just adding right now that what came up was that because of all the fires that happens and the
Mhm.
attacks, overt attacks in California from trash, he had
Yes.
to set up his own, almost as if his own intelligence headquarters or something,
Yep.
because he doesn't think the FBI is working to help him, that
No.
the FBI is keeping information from him, which is
Hmm.
very possible at this point, right?
Yep.
About any attacks against California perpetrated by persons involved with Trump's administration. So
Right.
because he had all of this stuff in place already, I feel like it's almost accidental that he catches this, right? That he hears
Hmm.
the people talking about this. And I think, Corina, I like, I think I have to say this too, because I remember, Corina, when you first started, you were kind of scared actually when you first started talking about it.
Yes.
And I remember even telling her this. I was like, Corina, maybe I have bias too. Could be. I'm just saying that I'm always like, oh, can these be stopped? Or is it like set in stone that it's gonna
Right.
happen, or could it be stopped? And it looks like you could and it will be stopped.
Right.
Right, right, Quinn,
Right.
you agree with that too, but I
Right.
just wanted to say that when you're like, oh my God. So,
Right.
okay,
Exactly.
so,
It is, I pick up on the energy and the feeling. So for
mhm,
me,
mhm,
I'm going to feel the panic.
I see, okay,
That makes me
mhm,
understand what I'm
mhm,
feeling.
okay, right,
So
okay,
yes, it is very scary.
okay, so then, right, so I saw that it's very likely that it could be of, like, foiled, and,
Hmm.
uh, and then also, I did, because I know sometimes people say, Rosie, are you sure you want to be saying this? Because we want to get there, but I got the clear message from Spirit saying,
Right.
in fact, you should talk about it because it should be on people's radars if something like this could happen. So, okay,
Yes.
so this is
Exactly.
it. And then, right, so, okay,
Hmm.
so then the other thing is what the plan is. We don't know, and it doesn't necessarily matter what the exact details like, but you saw so there's explosives involved in this, right? So it's
Right.
something, it's
Yes.
planned to explode something. So
Right.
there's explosives in there caught with explosives. So I keep saying, but it's like Oklahoma City bombing, but not as
Right.
bad. That's the
Right.
plan.
Hmm.
Anyway, the plan, right? But I don't think it
Right.
happens. Do you? Right,
No,
Corinne?
no, we don't, because
Hmm.
they're making the mistake of targeting, you know, not really all the California people. They're going after Gavin Newsom, where his locations, could be the federal building, it could be anything like that. They're going to go towards him.
Mm.
So, and his intelligence have picked that up.
Oh, okay, all right, okay. So, okay, and the other thing that came up is, uh, is that there's some tech people in California might be on the sidelines aiding and abetting this event, but
Hmm.
Elon Musk is not involved. I know it sounds like, are you saying that? No, but I think because Elon Musk is really on foot inside on this,
Yes.
and with most things, right? Large
Hmm.
majority of it, which is to not have wars with not harm Iran, because Iran provides a lot of the arms that Russia uses in the war against Ukraine.
Right.
So they don't
He,
want
no, he does not want
Iran
that.
to, right, to be harmed. So it's not Elon Musk at all, really.
No.
But it could be. I saw the face of some people. It doesn't matter who they are. It's not the like. It's not
Right.
like when it's not the purpose to name names or anything. But it's just some people that I think you may, you know,
In
uh,
the end, in the end, they'll know. But
yeah, and
yes.
it's just a cool. Some people that when there were these protests in all the universities are like, oh, they were the most vocal people online on Twitter saying
Mm,
that everybody go get Harvard or whatever, or go get right. So it's anyway. So there is some involvement, either like you said, Karina, something related, either propaganda or actually helping them like get a rental or whatever, stuff like that, like some sort of help, right?
right.
Karina? Okay.
Yeah. With the details, yes.
Mhm. Right.
Yes.
Not that these people are going to be involved in planning, no, but just being a person of contact, so to speak. Okay. So this
Right.
is the part. Now, just to make it clear, guys, that again, that this is about what's happening around. There's a next part. This is
Hmm.
about what's happening in the US only. Again, because uh we see Corina especially, right, that
Hmm.
their BB could have in mind in one of his parts to do some sort of false flag operation to then rally Americans
Right.
against Iran.
Right.
In that sense, to say, oh, because like that article said, that the only reason why the US would get directly involved, regardless of what Trump says, right,
Exactly. Exactly. So
would
they have to
be
make
if there's a real attack. So that's what they try to protect. So it doesn't work. Okay.
right.
All right. So this is that. Now, parallel to this, there is, so that's what we will close this issue. This is the false flag operation happening in the US soil, not happening in Iran, but they're trying to frame Iran for this, right? Okay.
Right.
So then again, a reminder, guys, that here that uh, okay, okay, okay. So just something, one sentence that in this from the summary that I just read to remember here. At first, Trump seems to be okay with it, meaning the war, joining the war, but just like the terrorists, he's persuaded by people like Putin to turn around. So I know
Right.
that he and Vance are saying this and that, but when push comes to shove, I don't see, because the main thing that the Israelis really need is this airplane, the
Right.
bunker busting. I still feel like when push comes to shove, we may not, it's not 100%, because it's a very volatile situation, but like I said, I feel like I still don't see that they will actually go there. The US military
Yeah.
will allow for that. So
Yeah.
there's,
I
and
don't.
also Putin has
Right.
a lot of power. He will make Trump turn around.
Right.
Right?
He's not
Okay.
let it happen.
That's right. They're gonna, just like the tariffs, just like everything. It's like,
Right.
oh, I want to do this and that. And they'll go, oh no, oh, I don't know, it worked out. Worked out. Oh, we're friends. So
Exactly.
so okay.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
Putin's not gonna let that happen.
That's right.
Just
So
he's
now,
a bummer.
right. So now we go to the situation of what is happening in Iran right now. So Trump, the US military, and Putin may not end up sending the one type of bomb and airplane there Israel is asking for. Okay, that's clear, right, Karina?
Right. Right. That is clear.
So we also looked into some kind of explosion happening around over there in Iran,
Right. Hmm.
uh, related to this nuclear sites without the bombs. Okay.
Right.
And this is also seems to be significant.
Hmm.
Okay, that now, Karina, it's funny because I was talking to someone else before I talked to you, and and I don't know that, because sometimes I do get confused about whether you and I talked about it, or because I feel like maybe not, because so much information, right? So what I had seen, it was that there would be this, like, that maybe they would not use this airplane, but they would send something like special forces, is what I understand. And the special forces would kind of like jumping from some, I don't know, helicopter, stuff like that, like,
Right.
something like that, and doing something on the ground. But this is a thing. It's so crazy. Did I say this to you? Was I talking to you? No.
Well, we were talking about this stuff too, but I don't think you told me this
This
part.
part. Okay. All right. So, so then I say, okay, let me write here, special operations. Does it tell me if you pick up anything? Special operations.
Yeah, because we did pick up that he would do something on his own
Mm-hmm. The
because,
ground.
right, because they're
Does
not going to support him.
doesn't go well. Now, and the other thing, there's like the jump. No, I'm not familiar exactly. I think it's called. What is that? I think it's usually like Navy SEAL, something like that.
Yeah.
But the equivalent, I don't know that there may even be a little participation, but it's mostly Israelis, I think. But to go try to do that, if they don't have the airplanes, they're gonna do something crazy like that. But this is a part that is like bad for Bibi, that he
Hmm.
trusted Trump. Remember
Yeah.
Hegseth. Remember Hegseth, yeah,
Yeah.
and how he shared everything about the plans, right?
That's right. That's right.
On his phone, and he has a Russian email address, right? So what
Right.
I saw happening is that he ends up sharing this information with his Russian buddies, whatever, whether intentionally or that they have access to his phone. I think with him, okay, actually,
I think
because
with him, they have an all access
that's
pass.
right. That's exactly with him is like they're like, oh, okay, yeah, here's my name is Boris. I have access to phone. This is a button you press to share always. We appreciate you sharing informations. Thank you.
Yes.
Uh,
The
Thank you.
open book.
Yeah, it's sad but true. Okay,
It
so
is sad, but it's true.
uh, okay, let's see. Hegseth betrays Israel. Essentially, it's like uh unintentionally or unintentionally or not. Okay. Okay. So in other words, I mean, how could he not write something that
Yeah, he knows
serious?
who he's sharing information with.
It's like you can't be that dumb, right? Like everybody
No,
knows it's a
exactly.
known thing that Russians are aligned with Iranians
Yeah.
from the Syria situation. It's not mystery. They're
Mm.
providing weapons for the Ukraine situation.
Right.
So so what I see, Russians listen in or pick up the text or whatever. And they go, hey, Ayatollah, listen, Ayatollah, are you okay? Are you under bunker? I have information here. Hicks, the man with the big mouth and the wrong shoes? That guy, that guy. He just
Oh,
told me everything. Write it down. Take a pen, write it down. All right, they're gonna come from helicopter. Five of them, with backpack. They're coming at 4:07 a.m. They're coming with the backpack, big, with the dip explosive. They're landing, and I see, wow, the Russian gives them the coordinates exactly
yeah.
of where they're
Yeah.
gonna come out. They're coming at this coordinate. Make sure you have welcome for them. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
seriously, like then they're told, they're told this, and BP again, it's like he lives in his own bubble. He thinks that I can do whatever I want. Nobody's gonna stop. Nobody stop me.
Right.
Then the thing happens, and I see the Iranians like already prepared for
Mhm.
some kind of
Yeah.
like what you call it, what is it
Fireworks
called?
celebration.
Yeah, no, but like a mine or something. I even
Yeah.
think they could just arrest them right away. Like it'd be a disaster situation.
Yes, it will
And
be.
then okay,
Hmm.
okay, exposing special ops. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah, exactly.
okay,
He's passing along everything on his
because at
phone.
the end of the day, right? Like The headset knows who has complemented, who
Yeah.
pay bills. I've loved paying your bills. I
Yeah,
get information. It's not for nothing. It is
exactly.
not for nothing. I get information. You are inept, incompetent. You need us. So, okay. So what? That's a lot. It sounds crazy, right? Almost like you wouldn't believe, but that's what I'm getting, right? You too, Granny,
I know.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
is. It does sound crazy,
So,
but
all
not
right.
that crazy.
So this is this part. Let me go back to one sec, okay? So, okay, so this is what was written on the summary before I ended up talking about the whole hex theft. So at some point things are going for Israel. Iranian surprised them. I think that part we talked about, but not those
Yeah.
details, right? Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so that creates a very bad situation for Bibi. And in addition to that, we because I think we asked about surprise, like what's gonna happen to Bibi. I think that's kind of like we went out along those
Yeah.
lines. And then it says missiles hitting Israel consistently scaring the population. So
Yeah.
it's not that they have the biggest thing, the biggest bomb, but that it's consistent and they end up hitting a lot of places, not too badly, but does it make sense, right? I think that is
It-
that. So,
Enough to cause some destruction.
mhm,
And
mhm, mhm,
what the heck just happened?
mhm. Right,
He
right.
takes the upper hand.
And I feel like the mistake that some people are making here is to assume that Iran is dumb. No, it's not dumb.
Hmm.
Iran, so, and I explained something that I was talking to somebody about this, that the issue with Iran, I know people are like, oh, we're gonna have a new regime, they're gonna take out the regime. It's not, it's a lot more complicated than that because the revolution really helped putting the religious part aside. They, there was a lot of reasons why they did it. And it was not just religious. There's a lot of changes that they made that in some ways you could even argue benefited some of the population. Improved education, gave more, they made big changes. Now, then what I saw is that the military, not the religious side, is what makes Iran powerful. The mistake is assuming that like it's those Ayatollah types. I forgot uh I forgot there's a name for it. Imams. It's not the imams that dictate everything, even though they technically are the heads. It's sort of like think of them more as kings, but they're
Right.
religious kings.
Hmm.
They have that power in the sense of the figureheads. But the ones that make Iran scary is the military because they have
Yes.
a very powerful military. They have pretty advanced weapons for a country that does not have a lot of money, right?
Right.
Technically. So they are the reason why when people ask, oh, are we going to take down the regime? It's not going to make a huge difference because the people that hold the place, Iran in place, are the military. It's called the IRGC.
Right.
I don't know exactly what it stands for, but that's the technology they export. That's the people who make those bombs or weapons. That's that's the people that monitor everything. It's not the religious people. I'm not saying they're not, they have some blame or some responsibility, but the mistake is to assume that they are the figureheads. They are not. In a
Right.
way, like doesn't make sense. Does it ring true to you? Also,
Hmm. Yeah.
I don't think,
The-
and I think it's also very naive just to assume that Iranians are gonna like they may not like. I think it's pretty clear they don't love those religious people. No, I think
No.
they're not that popular. They're not.
No.
There's some people that do like him still, but the thing that it's not controversial to say they hate Israel. That
They do.
the entire population
Yeah. And they're
because
not
they're
going to take this line down.
so. What I mean is that it's like even if the idea that people is saying, "Oh, we're going to change the regime," there is no regime that's going to be accepted by the Iranian people that is at peace, quote unquote, with Israel. It's just not going to, not now anyway. It's
Right.
it's it's fictional. It's not going to happen. So that's what I meant to say. Even if they like do something to the Ayatollah or whatever, it is not going to change the military because the military is what keeps the country together.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So anyway,
Makes so much.
that's going back here to the missile. Like so they have a pretty powerful military. And compare this, the other thing I want to say, compared to the all the other Arab states have horrible militaries because they have monarchies, right? So I know people say, oh, like Iran is this, and that, but the reason why monarchies is not just a Shia issue, which is a different religious, sort of like Catholics versus Protestants. It's that Iran threatens the monarchy because they're all about everyday people. They're sort of socialists in a way. So so this is the real reason why they're scared because of the like the socialist aspect and because they have a powerful military. Because in Saudi Arabia, for example, people don't have it's like apparently very like the country makes so much money from oil that they can kind of like give jobs to everybody almost. They don't do much and like they don't have to do much because they have so much money. So these people have the attitude that is not compatible with the military, with having a military like lifestyle or
Yeah.
career. They're not tough enough really in terms of like Iranians on the other hand are because it's part of their religion. Their religion has like this sort of like militaristic view of the world and they're very
Right.
organized. They're not, I know people confuse also Iran with like ISIS, which is completely the opposite. It has nothing to do with it. So
No.
that's a mistake. I just want to say like that Iran doesn't have money, but it has a lot of things that the other countries around them don't have. And that's why it
Mhm.
makes them powerful in that region. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And they have oil too. So, okay. Now, continuing to the last part here, um, which is BB. Okay,
Hmm.
BB loses power as a result from so the two things that we pointed out right now. One
Right.
is that Iran hits back harder than anybody expected, and two that there's some operation that happens that goes
Mhm.
wrong. Okay, goes
Right.
wrong in the in Iran.
Yeah.
And then I have a question because I don't think we talked about it. So is BB named if about the thing that happened in the US? If BB is BB named one day those people are caught, or does it? Because I have a feeling he may not even ever get to the like the connection. Do you see it him being named, or only later? Because I kind of don't see it
I do see
right away.
him being named,
You
but I
do,
think
okay,
it's late.
okay. Yeah. But the point is those people are stopped. But I just see that BB's demise is imminent. He may be celebrating now, just like a lot of in the military history. You see in a lot of the battles, people like, oh, the
Right.
military wars or whatever. Oh, you're celebrating first. It doesn't necessarily end the way you want it to end. So just a
Right.
warning, right? That
Hmm.
this is that. So okay, and then so one more question that I realized we didn't talk about. It's not super important. But do you see, because that's something that BB keeps talking, they want to change the regime in Iran. Do you see that happening now? Are they able to, I don't know, whatever that means. But we don't need, just, do you see
I,
Ayatollah?
I, I with you. I don't think so.
No, okay.
Not now.
Hmm. I see them saying they can kill a lot of
Not
people
yet.
in the
Mm-mm.
government. They could kill, Israeli can kill a lot of people, but the structure remains the same, at least for now. So they have a bench or whatever you call it,
Yeah, I
of people
do.
that they will just, because it's
It's
saying,
very
uh,
it's very regimented. The military is, like you said, it's very regimented. So I
mhm,
see this pyramid, and it's solid,
mhm,
very solid, which is their military. So you're you're absolutely right about the regime and the way it is militarized. So no, I don't see that changing right away. Mm-mm.
mhm. And
They have to go through a lot of, yeah, first.
do you see the Ayatollah guy going? He's pretty old. I have to say, I did get him. I was like, I felt like he came to me or something, but I don't know. Do you see? I don't because that's the thing. They want to kill. They're just very symbolic, right?
I
Like, I don't see that. I think they don't succeed. I just don't feel like he dies by
no,
Israeli bullets now.
no, I feel like he dies natural causes.
Okay, okay. Not now, I
I
see.
don't feel like
No.
mm-mm.
No, okay.
Is that they're not Israel's not going to be successful in whatever they try right now.
Hmm.
They're
Hmm.
just not. So
Wow.
he's to me he's still safe.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nothing happens to him yet.
Wow, wow. Well, so that was intense, Corina. I see here, it says 37 minutes. Sometimes it takes, that's not the whole, because
Well, yeah, and
there's pauses. It was pretty long. I mean, I thought it was like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
because we summarized it, right? So, but it's
right,
kind of
right.
amazing,
Yeah,
right? Kind of
there was a
amazing.
lot of information that came through today.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
unexpected stuff. Unexpected
Wow, wow. Yeah.
came through.
So
I didn't expect all the stuff on Gavin Newsom either,
that's right. That's right.
but that was good to see.
Mm-hmm.
That was good to see him standing up.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think he is also the one that may mention that in Bibi's name.
Interesting.
You
Interesting.
know how I picked up earlier? He's going to
Mm-hmm.
be exposing a lot of this,
Wow, wow. Oh, yeah, very good.
and I'm
So, wow. No, go ahead. I interrupted you.
uh, that's okay. I was going to say something and I stopped. Never mind.
No, tell me. Tell me.
Wouldn't benefit in any way. So
What is it? No, go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
I was stopped.
Oh, they
Are
said
we
don't
on?
say it.
Are we?
We're recording. We're recording.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
No,
They
I
said don't
was
say anything. Okay,
told
I
not
see.
to say it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. Oh, good.
Right?
Good. I
Yeah,
mean, I think they always, because I got the tools one time to say no, don't say it. Don't say it.
yeah.
Like we're told when not to say something that comes.
Right.
So,
We're told when not to say something. The reason I didn't is because it might jeopardize something.
mm-hmm,
So I will not do that.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I was
Okay.
stopped.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Right. So. Very good. All right. So that's it, guys, for today. What a crazy week they were living. So,
Crazy week, crazy
wow,
energy, everybody.
wow.
Wow, crazy, crazy.
Be well and
And
take it easy, right?
that's all we can do.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. All right. So
All
that's it,
right.
guys. Thank you for watching. And I see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah. Bye,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.